Okay, hello, this is Rani Ahmed with you. This is lesson 15 and using Objective-C as a programming language for the Macintosh operating system. Now in this lesson we're going to talk about how to use arrays and what are arrays, and how to use like the pointers as arrays too. Okay. And how to implement also like arrays of structs or structured variables. Okay. Now, what is an array? Array is like a sequence of variables. Okay, but they are allocated under the name of one variable. Okay. How come many variables go as one variable? I know the expression is like a little bit weird, but it's like you name a set of memory locations, sequential ones. Okay, like for example, you can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. Okay, each one of those square brackets, each couple of those square brackets, we can call it like a cell in memory and holding a value of some common type between all those between all these cells. Okay, so now so what I want to say, that if I say, for example, here I have maybe something like the PC is a little bit slow because I'm simulating or emulating the Macintosh operating system. So int, for example, this is not not to be compiled, okay, because I put a comment in front of it. Okay. But if I want to define, for example, a list of integers, okay, so for example, say marks. I have a marks of students, okay, and I can say like this, say for example, I have 5 students, a list of 5 students, and put it like this. So this means that I have prepared. It's not yet like filled with the marks, which are integers. Each one of those 5 cells are integers, and they are in the sequence starting from 0 till 4. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how I access it. Okay, so so I have here like marks of 5 persons. Okay, 5 students. Each one has his own mark again. So now if I want to like set this array right away, I can do the following, like this, and then I can use like this is like 45, 7, 8, 9, okay, like this. Okay, I have 5 now. Okay, but this one has what we call the index number 0, because if I want to refer, for example, to this one, okay, 45, okay, is, with respect to this list, is marks students, okay, number 0, okay, as a variable. Okay, and if I want to get the let's copy this, Ctrl V, and this is like, if I want to say the 98 here, it is number 2, and this is 98 over here. Cool. So because of this indexing, I can later use, for example, here an integer, okay, something like to iterate over, so to like parse this list of integers, so going from the first to the second to the last, okay. So oh, sorry, okay. So I can do this, for example, something like a for loop, okay, and int and I, okay. While it's better in C, normal C, that you define I in a separate variable, a separate line, okay, int I here, and then say I assigned as 0 as usual, and I less than whatever the maximum you have, okay. It has to be less than directly, less than, doesn't have to be less than or equal, okay, because you'll be like overrunning the buffer, okay. You have just only 6, for example, elements, so start from 0 till 5, okay. You don't, because you started the counting from 0, you're not counting from 1, so it must be one step backwards, okay. So that's why you say the length -1, so the length of the array is like 6, okay, -1, so this is the maximum you can use. So and I plus plus, okay, and then you can printf here I %I /n each number, and of course here I must type the marks students, okay, and I. So this will print for me every element in the list line by line, okay, each on a different line. So this is basically what are arrays for, okay. And you can use arrays with structures too, by instead saying integer I will be using person, okay. But I'm going to see how I'm going to use that. And of course you must if you want to define the data, you have to define it every like each subdata, like you have to say something similar to this, something like similar, like I have here start of buffer, okay, and I can use start of buffer sub I name, okay. But here I have little bit different case. Let's start explaining it. Now my program will define a pointer to a type which is a structure named person, okay, and this person has an integer ID, and this here is a character, okay, array, which means this is a string, because a sequence of characters makes you words and strings and sentences, okay. But this string, okay, has a maximum of 10 characters, okay. Now I have here like an ID, I want to read it and then assign it later to an element in the structure, in the person array or the array of persons. So I'm looping over each element in the persons array, okay, and every time I'm reading an ID, and this ID is set to the current ID of the current person, okay. And this one is just I made it just when you just get in to the program. Okay, you're asking the compiler, or you're asking, sorry, the program to assign the size of your array. Okay, so it will be like told to the program ahead of the the assigning of, or the creation of, the list of persons. Now, there's one thing I want to talk about, which is what's the difference between heap and stack. In heap, you can allocate things dynamically, okay, and you can use the compiler doesn't set the size right away, okay. It's done on runtime most of the time, and here you will use it more like in heap. You don't you have to yourself clear the memory that you used, but the stack is that the variables are already made by the compiler, and when the program finishes, it clears that memory, okay. So and what we have here is that I read the number of persons that I want to enter, okay, and because scanf must take an address here for the variable, so that's why I use and I tell it that there is an integer here, okay. And next thing is, I'm saying I have a pointer to a buffer of persons, okay. So this is a set in the heap, okay. This is made in the heap, and the malloc, okay, is memory allocation. So I'm allocating this amount of memory. How much? It has to be a set of persons. So every time you must get a size of person, for example, yeah, and then you multiply it with the number of persons that you want to do, okay, that you want to use. So that's why I say I times the size of persons, okay. Now, if I want to read the values and input those values and save them into the list of persons, okay, what I do is I make this for loop, okay, as I told you here, okay, and I tell the user that I have to enter the name, because I have in the structure a name, and then there is the ID, okay. And here I say I have scanf to read the string, which is the start of the buffer at number I, okay, at index I. So according to the current value of I, I'm stepping to the next person, okay. So this is what makes me a change between persons, okay. Now, why I'm using this? Because you don't want to make the data overlap. For example, if you can move to this way will let you freely move to the number of bytes, because this will allocate a number of bytes for you in the memory. So you can allocate however you like of memory size, but if you say to him that I have this number of persons, so because of this indexing, okay, I can step backward or forward to the next next element in the list of, for example, here the persons, okay. Now, because it is an array here, okay, you only, because in scanf, as we saw here, that it takes the address, so the name here, the name of the array, okay, this one that I'm highlighting, is called also the address of the array, okay. So so that's why I pass here, okay, sorry, That's why I'm passing over here the address of the name, okay, array. And because it's a string, so I just put a %s. Cool. Similarly, we do with the ID, and this is how I assign the ID to the start of buffer at index number type. Okay, and this is how I print it. Okay, so easy. Okay, and this is how I loop over each one and print them. Okay, and also I have another example here for how to define a list of floats. Okay, and this is like just only 3 elements, okay, of decimals. And here how I can define a list of strings. Okay, so I use char star names, and I have 3. Now here I have exactly like, you know, char star only takes, like, it's a type of address, okay, and it's like you're saying I have an array of pointers. So if you want to use float, you have to use also memory allocate, okay, to make your allocation of pointers, okay, but here it's automatically allocated. Now those are not used, that's why I got this warning, okay. And here this is how I free the buffer that I used, the memory that I allocated. So I call only the pointer that I want to clear, okay. And again, I want to just remind you that using the stack, okay, things are automatically freed, they are automatically unallocated, okay. I don't have to use the word free, okay, the function here named free. Cool. So this is all about the arrays, okay, and maybe next lesson would be about multi-dimensional arrays. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and please subscribe using your own username on YouTube, and so you can get updates, and subscribe, and yeah, use your comments please, they are very important to me. Okay. Thanks for watching.